There we go.
Do I sound better?
Yeah, a little bit.
Maybe I'll just cut us in now. Hey, welcome in. Washup Walk-Ons, technical difficulties. Kevin Ward saves the day 2 minutes in.
1008th episode.
Brought to you by FanDuel. Yeah, 1008th or 9th episode. And we can't figure it out. The problem is I can't hear. Even in here, I hear this microphone regardless of what input is selected on my computer. So it is.
That's interesting.
Yeah. So if I heard that I was shitty in my own ears, I would change it. But nonetheless, here we are. We're going to talk a little bit of college football at the end. We'll talk a little bit of Hawks because, again, since we've met, Kev, since we got on here, 4 more Hawkeyes in the portal.
Oh, no.
Not in the portal. We got 4 more Hawkeyes from the portal.
Oh, yay.
Poor wording there. Yeah. I don't know how much production we really picked up here towards the end of the cycle. The portal has officially closed at this point. I believe that closed on Friday. And thousands of players across the country, no homes. No, did not. Just homeless now. No teams. Yeah. Could you imagine going in the portal with no plan and then like it closes and
dude, it's such a quick process in 2 weeks. Like, I mean, obviously there's got to be rules around tampering, but if you're planning on going in the portal, you better have done some tampering.
You better have tampered.
You better have tampered just a little bit, you know? It's crazy because you think about how long the recruiting process takes in high school, like when they start
months
scouting and evaluating these guys, like
years.
Schools have this a roster cap now that like you can afford to miss on a few guys, but if you're only going to get 5 or 10 guys in the portal this year, like if you miss on 2 of them, that really hurts. So like you can't be taking a lot of risks on guys you don't know and who maybe don't have a whole lot of tape, like the guys that are posting their practice tape on Twitter. It's like, dude, I'm in the portal. This is my practice tape versus the 2s in practice. Like,
and that goes back to our time when that, like, for whatever reason, a guy washes out and then you see a month later, he like took his phone.
He was like Snapchatting his practice.
Dude, it's the saddest thing, man. They don't even have
there'd be the Snapchat captions on there, dude.
Because they can't. I don't even know if you could download plays off of the system onto like if you could get the files, but even if you could, a lot of guys probably couldn't figure out how. So they're literally recording with their phone. It's like shaky, their practice film off of their iPad, and they're putting that onto Twitter as a last ditch. Hey, someone please sign me. I need to play football somewhere. Otherwise my career is over. I fucked up. That is so wild to me. And that goes all the way back to some of our teammates. Yeah, it's a 2-week period. And I didn't even think about what you said is that there's a cap now. There's a roster cap. That makes it even worse. There's a bunch of every team in the country has 20 less dudes on it.
Yep.
So that's tough. I think I'm on as far as On3, which is like a college football site service, whatever. On here, it says 3,242 entries in the portal, committed 1,928. About 60% of people committed to a new school. 2 out of 5 guys didn't find a new home. And this is, I believe, just Division 1 and FCS. Like, I don't think that includes Division 3 because I saw numbers much bigger than that. But did you see the NFL early enrollee numbers?
No.
Way down. Way down. So in some weird way, we fixed a problem.
I mean, was that a huge problem to begin with? I don't know.
Not for college football, but for for some athletes were making poor decisions.
Sure. Yeah, for sure. Going to declare for the league that they had no business doing that. Like, maybe 7th round draft pick free agents. It's like, better get your degree. Well, I think the guys who are like at that level, who's like, maybe I should, maybe I shouldn't, are probably still making decent money in college where it's not worth the risk.
Yeah.
Like they're probably not making huge amounts where it's like, there's some guys that'll, 2nd, 3rd round picks. It's like, yeah, I mean, I can afford to wait while I'm making $1 million this year versus, you got guys who are like fringe draft pick free agent guys who are a couple $100,000. It's like, yeah, I can wait, get my degree, and at the same time, hopefully improve my draft stock. I don't have to leave now. So that's probably a little bit of it there.
It's weird, man. I'll quickly go over these 4 guys who we picked up since our last episode. Again, I don't know. I think one of them makes an immediate impact, and otherwise it's sort of depth adds. What we're also going to do tonight is, if you guys, for those who listen on a regular basis, have been listening for more than a year, last year on, I don't know when I'll pull it up because I sent it to our group chat before this episode. Last year on February 6th, so almost a year ago, we did an episode where I kind of put together a top 10 questions for Iowa football in 2025. And it was very much so based around that time frame, like pre-spring ball. We had just signed Gronowski. We're going to revisit those 10 questions and see how well Iowa answered those. And I think this sort of leads us into probably another top 10, because the episode did really well last year. And we'll kind of crowdsource that again with our Patreon. Those in the Discord, we'll put it out on social media. What are now the top 10 questions of 2026 Iowa football? And you'll see sort of the format that we did it here in a second. The portal ads for Iowa, we got another D lineman, a D tackle from North Dakota, redshirt sophomore.
Oh, I saw a picture of this dude. He looks like a tank.
Absolute like hoss. Not a lot of production. I think he had 10 tackles. Younger guy, 2 years to play, and he's 6'3", 300 pounds. So he's got the size.
It's got, seems to be like a frame.
It's a frame.
You said he had 3 years to play?
2 years to play.
2 years to play.
So, probably a depth add. That's our 4th D lineman in the portal. Like 25% of our portal class is D lineman.
It was an area of need after what we're losing this year for sure.
2 D ends and 2 D tackles, maybe even 3 D tackles. I could be wrong. There could be 5. Let me go down and make sure that it's not 5. So he's from North Dakota, a guy that plays in the Midwest. Kind of, North Dakota is a good program in the FCS. Hopefully, that's a guy that we can get to be a contributor. Lance Beagley, that kid's name was Emmanuel. Sorry, buddy. Olagbaju. He's from Minnesota originally.
The Big O. We're going to call him the Big O.
Big O, sure. Picked up a redshirt freshman receiver out of SMU. Lance Beagley, 6'2", 185. I think 195 on their roster is what I saw. So a longer guy.
What's the latest on Casper's kid? Did he find a home?
He did. BYU.
That's interesting.
Yeah, he was. So I haven't mentioned that since that happened too. I think some of us in Hawkeye Nation were like, hey, what if Cass what if he wants to fulfill the prophecy and come and play his last year or whatever?
Well, I mean, despite how much cash Oregon was throwing at him, I think we were still in contention at the end there.
I believe we were too. So the thoughts were with him coming out were Arizona State, which would be back home for him. Michigan State, because Kevin and LeVar are good buddies.
Tight, yeah.
And then maybe Iowa as a third option. And then like last week about this time, he posted his thing like, hey, new home, BYU. Again,
cookies, man, that cookie money out there.
Yeah, he's got the crumble cookie money. Good for him. Hope he plays. Hope he gets some stats. He's had a real tough career to this point. He was buried. He was injured. I have to imagine that Barnes and them at least sent a text, like there was probably some kind of conversation like, hey, what's the interest? Mm-hmm. But I think one thing that Barnes has done really well, Kev, is, and the rest of the staff, is our guy, Iowa will not overpay. We will not overpay for a guy. arguably Gronowski is your only example, but with the situation that we were in,
Well, also, who was Caleb Brown, the receiver that year?
I don't know how much we paid for him though.
Yeah, whatever it was too much.
It was too much. It was.
I'm gonna miss there.
Yeah, we've had our
we had like 5 receptions and a DUI out of the kid.
Unbelievable stats from this guy. Just putting up numbers.
Not the best stat line in Iowa City.
There's guys who have way better stat lines than that in Iowa City. So I really, and this sort of goes to the whole portal strategy, which I want to ask you about here in a second. I think it's one that you and I probably approve of heavily. To round out those next 2 guys, or maybe did we just get 3? Maybe we just got 3. We got a punter, Kevin.
Hey,
we got a punter. Now, people wanted my opinion. This came out today on Sunday. Can't wait to hear Tyler Kluver's thoughts on this. I'm not going to sit here and act like I've seen this kid punt. Now, it is interesting. He went to Waukee Northwest High School, which is the school system that my kids would currently be in were they to be of school age. He is a sophomore, going to be junior out of Waukee, and he went to Simpson College and will be transferring to the Iowa Hawkeyes. Do you know where Simpson College is, Kev?
No idea.
Now, you're an Iowa guy now, but not that much of an Iowa guy.
Mm-mm.
Simpson College would be Indianola, Iowa, which is it's south of 80, about not quite halfway between Des Moines and Iowa City. Nice little spot. Same
like near Ottumwa area.
D3. We could pull up a map.
Yeah, I'm gonna pull up a map here.
Same conference as Co. Same conference as Central. I think Co's in that conference. Wartburg. You got, the D3 powerhouses of Iowa. Here's what I can say about this kid. His name is Tanner Philpott. And his freshman year for Simpson, he averaged 37.5 yards per punt.
That's not good.
That's bad. That's really bad. His sophomore year last season, he averaged 43.9 yards per punt. That's a lot better. That actually in Division I would have ranked 35th in the country this year. So
is that net or
that is before return is calculated in. That was just average distance, but would have ranked 35th on distance before we're considering net punting. Here's what concerns me a little bit is and reaching to D3 is not necessarily what you want to do. With a specialist, it's probably a little bit more okay. Specialist is a skill position. Maybe the guy just started late. Maybe he's listed actually as a kicker on their roster or was. I'm a little bit concerned at how much of a true punter this guy is and how many years of reps he has relative
to. Is this
to
currently the only punter we have on the roster?
I think so. I think so. So punting right now, either Tim Leicester told KF and the boys hey, we don't really need one. We're going to just wait till year 3. Wait till we get Hecklinski out there slinging the ball around. We ain't punting for shit. I don't think there's one coming in this next class. I could be wrong. We have a huge question to answer at punter, and this Tanner kid, while 44 yards a punt is great. If he could do that for the Hawks next year, that would be great. It's a different level. I question how long the kid's been in the game. A lot of these punters now step into college. They've been kicking for 5 years. They get into these Coles camps at 7th, 8th grade. And this kid feels a little less experienced to me, especially seeing the massive jump from year 1 to year 2. The jump is great. It just speaks of inexperience. So I'm also not going to judge Chris Polizzi, who was hired as the special teams coordinator since we last podcasted, Kev, a guy who we're familiar with. I'm not gonna doubt him that he's the guy now. He obviously had a say in that. He went out and got him. I will say this. if there is a destination, Kevin, for a punter in the United States, I can't imagine they'd want to come and go anywhere else but Iowa.
I mean, we make special teams an emphasis in our identity and how we win football games is making that an edge. But
it's cold.
The days of the early 2020s are over.
Yeah.
Torrey Taylor was a legend, and we needed him. And he
playing currently as we record this.
A lot of those games back then.
Yeah.
But our offense is significantly better than it was back then.
You're right. I will say, too, better.
If you want to put a whole lot of film on tape as a punter, Iowa might not be the place for you anymore.
Probably not the number one place.
I would like to – I'm sure somebody has it out there, but how many punts did we have last year? Like, just punts per year.
Yeah.
Going back to 2020. 2021.
2021 punts would be a lot of punts, I think. 2022.
22 and 23 were far worse.
Torrey Taylor stats. Of which he is, like I said, he's playing currently as we record this. That's how much of a legend that guy is. And he's averaging nearly 49 in the league this year, which is, I think, kind of middle of the road, actually. The punters in the NFL are unbelievable. There is one spot that you want to go if you're a punter, and it's San Diego State because the weather's perfect every day.
Beautiful city.
Oh, my God. Have you been?
Several times, yeah.
Dude, San Diego is elite.
Yeah.
If me and Lauren could, if we could just up and move and there were no other factors, like I think San Diego might be the spot.
Coronado, dude, that island's sick.
It's insane down there. The other guy, we got 3 guys in the portal. We got a commit in this new class. We lost our transfer long snapper. We have one on the roster still. We offered and got a commit from a kid out of St. Louis. I'm not going to say a whole lot about that either. I'm going to leave it at that. It's hard to judge on the film that I've seen from him, and I don't think he's going to be the starter. So
here's my thing is like any snapper can film themselves snapping a ball and hopefully at one point get 5 good snaps in a row.
Yeah.
Right?
Uh-huh. Rated the 32nd long snapper in the outgoing class of high school in the country. So it's not bad. He's not a 5-star long snapper in that system. He's a 4.5 star.
Ugh.
We'll see what happens in the coming years. I believe that Ike Powell will be your long snapper next year. He'll be snapping to Tanner Philpott, and Eli Ozick is our kicker, and I feel pretty confident about Ozick coming over from North Dakota State. So that's who we have coming in. We have a special teams coordinator. We have a kicker. We have a punter. We have 2 long snappers. I think we still have to – I think there's a Bettendorf kid committed in this class for kicker or something like that. Maybe he's already on the roster. There are bodies in the room, which is positive. Those bodies have a lot of work to do, and that is about as deep of an answer as I can give. Maybe I'll reach out to CP, which people crush me online for calling him CP, and I didn't even think about it, but immediately people were like, dude, that means child porn. And I was like, it doesn't. His nickname is CP. I'm going to call him.
Always has been, yeah.
From this point forward, I'm going to reference him as CP. And if that's funny or makes you go in another direction, that's your own problem to deal with. Maybe I'll reach out to Chris, see if I can't come watch a practice and meet the guys. I don't know if I still have that power as somebody who steps on the microphone and talks about people. They're going to be like, no, don't let him around there. Fucking don't let that guy come. But they've got a lot of work cut out for him. Before we get to these 10 questions from last year, I'm going to run a couple beautiful advertisements, and we'll be back to talk about maybe the final real true wrap-up of the 2025 Hawkeyes.
Hey, it's Peter Harmon, the food guru, here to talk about Gray's Gourmet To Go. At Gray's Gourmet To Go, we are madly and passionately in love with 3 things: chicken lips, pizza, and great food to go. Chicken lips are the most beloved food in Iowa City. And if you don't know what a chicken lip is, you're really missing out. Our second passion is pizza. We're hell-bent on making great pizza. Yeah, you can get cheap pizza anywhere. But if you're a real pizza aficionado, you gotta try our meatball pizza. It's made with a natural starter, and like sourdough bread, it's soft and crispy and light as air. And the third thing that we're wildly and passionately in love with is great food to go. We believe you want to feed your family something great at home, but you're too busy with life to stop and cook. That's why we built Gray's Gourmet To Go. So the next time you need to feed the gang and you don't feel like cooking, just come to graysgourmettogo.com.
At Illini Golf, the game never stops. Featuring an exclusive PuttView putting green and 5 4-site simulator bays, the most advanced technology in the area, designed to bring the golf community together. Illini Golf is a place where beginners feel welcome and experienced players stay challenged. Perfect for practice, lessons, and fun any time of year. Whether you're chasing lower scores or just chasing fun, Illini Golf is where every swing counts. Call now to book your simulator. Illini Golf. Everything you need.
How about that?
Let's bring some Illini golf to Iowa City, baby.
Dude, that place, Matt sent me over the video, which is a perfect little 30-second promo run for them. I don't golf, but if I was a golfer, that's the kind of place where it's like, oh, man, you could spend a lot of time in that.
No, for sure, dude. For sure. Yeah, I love me a good indoor golf simulator, but yeah, would love them to open a location here in Iowa City. And to the Gray's Pizza, Alyssa had some Gray's Pizza on Saturday, and she said it was phenomenal.
There you go. There's your personal, authentic endorsement. I have your stats on punting, Kev.
Oh, hit me.
In 2021, because I'm not counting 2020 because we played 8 games.
Yep.
In 2021, Torrey Taylor punted 80 times. In 22,
that had a Big Ten championship in there.
Yes. In 22, he punted 82 times.
Which is more per game. We did not go to the Big Ten championship.
Correct. In these years, we played 14, 13, 14 games.
Yep. Okay.
So 82 was actually the year with only 13. And then in 23, he punted 93 times.
It was bad in 23, man. It was.
Dude, what is the math
on those are some tough. I mean, we won games, but like how?
That's nearly 7 punts a game.
That's insane.
That's so bad.
It's insane, man.
Now this is a fun little way to see your offensive progression under Tim Leicester, because now I pull up Reese Dakin in 24 and 25.
Yep.
Reese Dakin in 24 and 13 games, 64 punts.
Nice.
Reese Dakin in 13 games this year, 42 punts. They cut that bitch in half.
Let's go.
Dude.
Oh.
That is wild.
Now, when did the clock rules change? Because that will have a little bit to do with it.
True.
But
I'm not sure.
Not going to cut it in half.
It might have coincided immediately with Reese Dakin's time, but no, it would not cut it in half. So that right there, and you don't need the punting statistics to tell you that the Iowa offense has gotten better over the last 2 years, but those correlate, right? And I mean, in 2 years, Dakin nearly had as many as Torrey did in his senior season. So that's tough. Yeah, so maybe Iowa's not the place to be if you really want a ton of punting statistics. But there you go. We're going to dive into these 10 questions. These were, I don't know if I tried to number them with importance, starting at 10 down to 1. But I'll just go in the order that they were, and we'll try to breeze through them here. The first one was, who shows potential to be a breakout player of 2025? Remember, we asked these a year ago. This was before spring ball. And then I put the note, they will likely emerge in spring. We'll hear about them in summer and camp. And then I think we had our answers, but we weren't really sure. I think the answer really was probably Vanami. Is your guy. It took a while, but he ended up being the breakout player at the end of the year.
Are you like referencing what did we say when we originally?
No, I don't.
Or okay.
We didn't have an answer for this. This was open-ended, sort of like, who will it be? I think our answer that we talked about was like, will it be RVZ? Of course, he gets hurt for half the season, and so he wasn't really. I mean, he kind of broke out too, even in his limited time. But I put down
phenomenal catches this year.
I put down Vanami. To some extent, he was known, but Lutmer had a great season.
Yeah.
And then I put the 2 linemen who were first-time starters but are going to be coming back, Pieper and Lauk. I mean, those are breakouts.
Phenomenal years out of those guys too.
Anybody else?
TJ Hall low-key had a great year.
Okay, that's going to come up later. Yeah.
But I don't know if I call it breakout because like he was already.
Did TJ make himself a lot of money this year?
He definitely upped his draft stock for sure.
Yeah.
But I'm going to go with the offensive line guys.
Okay, I like it. I agree too. Second question was, how do we fill the spots of need offensively to give Gronowski and Leicester sufficient weapons? At the time, we had added Sam Phillips. I put down Jarrett Bowie, who was a non-factor this year, and RVZ. Those they seem to have promise. And then will Moulton or Jazz take another step? My answer on this one was that we did not fully pass this test for 2025. It would have helped if RVZ didn't get hurt and Ostrenga didn't get hurt. The running backs were really good, but weren't elite. Probably mostly in the
weapons we gave him was a freaking elite offensive line.
We gave him a great offensive line, and those aren't scoring weapons. So we didn't fully complete on this. And DJ Vanami, he took time to cook, right? Like it was really the last third of the season where he started to break out. And no other wide receivers really separated themselves. And that's just the truth of it. So this is going to be likely another question. It's going to be copy paste. How do we fill spots of need offensively to give Hecklinski weapons? That'll be the same question we ask when we do another 10 questions for this year. Yeah, we have to be better in answering that question. Iowa has to be better if they're going to compete for a playoff spot. This is a tough one. So at the time, remember a year ago, can we retain Woods, Wallace, and other great assistants? 2 weeks after we posted this episode, Liddell Betts goes to the Giants. Omar Young stepped in.
Still there?
I don't know because that staff got fired, right?
Yep. John Harbaugh is now the coach there.
I don't know if he's still there.
That's the tough thing about going to the NFL, man.
You are playing
as a coach, your job security is about as bad as it gets.
It's horrible. We obviously retained Coach Woods for this season in question. He is since gone. So that's the answer. We lost 2 coaches that we had at this time last year. And so the answer is no. we didn't retain him.
When did we give Wallace the title and the raise?
Let me look that up.
Was that? No, it was before last season, right? Because he had to coach the.
I want to say it was at the start of the 24 season.
Yeah, because he was the coach for the opening game. Remember? Yeah.
Yes. We need KF to just be like, hey, you're gonna be January 16th of 24. Yeah. So the beginning. So 2 years ago, right now, basically, was when he was given that title. So hopefully we can retain him. Hopefully that title's enough to retain him, because if he leaves, my emotions, I'll be sad. I'll be lost. Fourth question was, does the combo of Ostrenga and Ortworth take the next step to return our tight end production to tight end U reputation? Tough one. Ostrenga goes out for the season in the second game, and Ortworth was sort of a non-factor as far as real crazy production in the tight end room. The back end of that question was who becomes the third option. All wrapped up into one. DJ was our production, I think, is flashing as like, hey, we could bring tight end U back here, and became our first option. So tough one there in the tight end room. There's also the question of, and we're going to go into year 3 here, Kevin, what does the tight end usage look like in Leicester's offense? And
I mean, it's a lot less than Brian used it in the past game, but it's still pretty heavily used. It's just the ball gets spread out a lot more.
Yeah, which I think it should. And my understanding of this offense, and truthfully, the assessment of what Leicester has done is it's an offense where you can really build it and work your best guys. They're going to go to who their weapons are. It's not a situation where, hey, we just don't have the stud for this off. You know, we're not running a spread style offense where like you just need two go ball guys. Like we can kind of work around the run game and how they mesh things together to just do what's best for our personnel. And if we have a stud potential Mackey conversation guy in DJV next year, I think he will get used a lot. Again, I don't think you're going to see like Hawkinson fan.
I mean, they're still vital. They get used heavily in the run game too.
Yes.
Like we're in 2 tight end sets a lot still. So,
next question was, who will emerge as leaders aside from Logan Jones? The people in question at the time were Dunker, Gronowski, Gill, Wampa, Graves, Herkett, Llewellyn. I think all of those guys did to some extent. My 3 were Gronowski far and away, came in and won guys over.
Yeah, I think he earned the respect real quickly.
X on defense had a huge year.
Mm-hmm.
Part of that was his play on the field, but I think he was respected as a leader as well. And then I saw a lot of Herkett in a lot of places. So those are my 3. How does Iowa manage the roster limit rule? Who gets cut? What are the ideal position group sizes? We didn't really go super deep into this. I think Iowa handled the roster cuts as good as they could. And we heard about that from some of the players last season, specifically with the Max White episode when he came on, he was in the transfer portal. KF basically at semester last year, at this time last year, said, hey, if you're on the fence, we're telling you straight up so that you have an opportunity to go find a new home. They didn't screw around. They went right to that 105, and then how they also supplemented that was a light recruiting class. They took 12 less guys, or maybe more, 15 less guys than they normally would, and basically just cut out what would be the entire walk-on class of a recruiting cycle. Kevin and I would just fucking
it's like, you got enough of these fucking walk-on podcasts out there. We can put an end to this shit right now. So when these assholes finally hang it up, there's gonna be
this is actually they say this is a bad thing. All right, that we're gonna lose the walk-ons, but to be honest, okay, all the walk-ons have ever given us is a fucking shitty podcast. All right, so this is a good thing. Less podcasts from players who don't mean shit to this program. All right. Oh shit. I'm sorry, coach. So yeah, I just put very limited 2025 recruiting class, told everyone else that was around the cut line straight up, you should look elsewhere, and left very little drama compared to other schools. So they really handled that well. The next one was, how will and should Iowa use their portion of the school's rev share, which started last year. It feels like we've been in this for a while, but that rev share portion did not start until June of last season. How do you use this in the recruiting and in the portal? And I think what we saw last year was they went all in on quarterback for year 1. That's where they used a lot of their money. And
so my understanding from our episodes with Swarm is that rev share was being used kind of blanket across the boards, like salaries.
Yep.
And NIL money is going to pay the dudes.
Yeah. And I think
giving guys a base and probably like stepped up pay as far as, as you get older and more contribute more to on the field performance. I think that's a huge part in recruiting. It's like, hey, this is my path to money. If
you can show somebody the exact pay schedule they're going to be on.
Yeah, exactly. Versus, NIL could be finicky year to year based off what my market value is, right? So.
Well, it's easier to be straight up with a kid and tell him, hey, Here's a pay schedule.
This is what we pay our freshmen.
Here's the 15 million that we're going to shred out. This is what you get. NIL, who knows? If you go and prove your worth, you could be huge. You could get a shitload of money. And I think that's really important, Kevin, in the fact that Iowa's a developmental program. You need to develop guys 3 years, 4 years before you get a Logan Jones. You got to have some way to keep these guys around.
Mm-hmm.
And I think if you can show them, hey, right from the jump, this is like a corporate structure. You do your job and stick around, you're going to get rewarded. That feels good as a kid to know. It's not exactly the same, but remember when we came in and James Morris was like, hey, follow the seniors. Those guys have in your position room, those guys have written the book on how to succeed here and make it through 5 years. If you just do what they do, you can do it. It felt good knowing that. And I think in the same sense, like it's a little bit of the same in that pay structure sort of conversation. So I think that helps.
Yeah. And also, being one of the schools fortunate enough to max out those rev share
True
contributions.
How many schools do you think are doing that?
I'm sure you could Google it right now.
I think it's less than you. I think it's less.
Oh, it's not nearly as many as most people think. I don't think. I don't even know if all the Big Ten is capable of doing it.
Iowa State isn't.
Well, that they're not in the Big Ten, but yes, you're correct.
Yeah, understood. That wasn't me saying they were, but
just as pretty much most of the schools, if of the SEC and Big Ten are.
Mm-hmm.
You'll get a few a handful in the ACC, like Miami for sure.
Yeah, FSU.
A handful in the Big 12, like Texas Tech had like the most expensive roster in the country this year, I think. Oh, he can scoot.
Doesn't give me somebody scoring. I would love to know because again, we had that conversation. Schools have to they have to make sure they don't just fold financially, and that's a huge part of it. The next question was how do the young, inexperienced linebackers and some of the DB core respond to replacing Nick Jackson, Jay Higgins, Schulte, Castro, Jamari Harris, and the names I had down obviously were Cohen, Carson Shire, Jaden Harrell, Lutmer, Lee. Toss this one to you. How'd they do?
I mean, good. Were they as good as the last crop of guys we had? Probably not. But
all around, no.
They did the job for the most part. Yeah. So I'd give them a solid grade.
I think the linebackers.
Those are some. Yeah, the linebackers that we had to replace were some dudes, man.
Yeah.
They themselves replaced some dudes. So we've been blessed with incredible linebacker play for the last.
Spoiled for 5 years, 10
exactly.
years.
Mm-hmm.
Linebackers were good. They were satisfactory, but not
above satisfactory. Yeah.
But they flashed at times. Shire flashed several times with speed and aggressiveness. Were not over the top great and did hurt us in certain spots a couple times.
I think it just comes back to just what we had at those positions for the previous 5 years was not normal.
I put on here that X and TJ Hall took the steps that everyone was waiting for them to.
Yes, for sure. X was obviously a huge recruit, and he balled out this year. He was fun to watch.
He brought the stick, bro.
Mm-hmm. Yes,
man.
He came with some mean intentions.
And I put down that Deshaun Lee was put in a lot of tough spots and actually rose to the occasion multiple times. Despite
he had a rough bowl game,
but
he had the rest of the season he had a great year. I know I wasn't on the bowl game podcast, but our boys were getting tired at the end of that game.
Were they?
Dude. I mean, I know you don't fully remember this, but it's real. Like getting used to the heat takes a while. And
dude, the warm-up we did for the 2016 Outback Bowl, I was gassed.
Yeah. So I'm like watching that fourth quarter, like, oh shit, we're gassed and we are tired. And they're just throwing the ball up and making this a track meet. This is making me really uncomfortable. Right?
Yeah, that's not good. Yeah. Our guys are just going to start running 50-yard sprints every other play.
Which, it really sucks as a defender because they sub receivers in and out. It's like, hey, just go run. We're gonna wear this guy. We're gonna make him run. Like, honestly, it's not the worst strategy in the world if an OC just like,
dude, you're
I want wide receivers that can just run straight 40s, and we're just gonna wear these cornerbacks out to the point where like this guy's running 40 sprints.
We had in high school
during the course of the day where he's either going to have to tap out, and we're going to need a backup in there, or he's going to pull a hamstring.
Yeah, you're going to love this. So gimbal, right? We threw it all over the place. We had a set of 3 downs that were a combo of plays where we would have our 2 backup receivers, or maybe just one of them, go in and run 2 40s. Just go ball down the sideline and get that cornerback to run 2 40s back to back.
Mm-hmm.
We would then put our stud track guy, one of the best receivers in the state. I think he ended up like the 8th best receiver in the state our senior year. Only played 6 games out of 10 because he got hurt. We'd put him in on 3rd down and we'd run the same play. He can already run by the corner, and now the corner's gassed, and Gimbal would just launch it, and we were forfeiting to 3rd down, knowing that on 3rd down we were going to hit it. It was great.
There you go.
The 2 more questions. Exactly how is the defense going to get back to the Iowa standard? There is this, and this is sort of along the conversation that like in 24, our defense wasn't that elite Jack Campbell, like
that we had from 21, 22.
Yeah, 22. This was this spoiled conversation.
Again, like those were historically good,
insane defenses.
Yeah.
And
so
the reality is,
I would say that this defense lived up to the Iowa standard.
Oh, dude,
and then some.
I've got the numbers. We finished the year 23rd in 3rd down defense, 1st in the country in 4th down defense.
Dude, we were really good on 4th down.
Elite on 4th down.
Oh man, that's I just remember like we got a couple of stops in
Indiana
the Indiana game.
Oh.
And like the last one that they went for, I'm like, we stop them, we win this game. And
yeah, and we didn't.
Should have.
8th in scoring defense, 9th in total defense. We're top. This was a top 10 defense in the country, maybe better if you consider other metrics. So they lived up to the standard.
Because I mean, there'll be some draft picks out of this defense, but like no superstars.
They lived up to the standard, man. They did it. They got us back.
Mm-hmm.
Final question was, is Gronowski the guy that we all hope he is? Great leader, stats, mechanics, everything. And you could argue that in totality, we didn't get enough early enough, but I put down a lot of stuff here. These were just my thoughts off the cuff. Starting in that 3rd game, he started to ascend throughout the entire season. The Indiana game, the one that Kevin and I have referenced multiple times, he and that offense started to showcase real control, especially on 3rd down, over the philosophy that Leicester was like. We were dicing up that defense on 3rd down. We're getting 8 when we need 6, 10 when we need 8. He gets hurt in that game, and it not only hurts us for that result. It not only hurts us for that result. Who's dead? Somebody dead?
Swift just took a shot.
Did you see the shot that Kincaid took yesterday?
Or is that Monangai? No, I was Swift. Yeah, that was tough. Oof.
It did not only hurt us for the Indiana game, but it hurt us in the rhythm that they were starting to develop in that passing game. And that was all without a starting tight end and a wide receiver 1. So there was some hamstringing of what Mark was capable of. Obviously, not having him for spring ball last year did start to, it showed up in the early part of that season. But remember, he was the guy who led the drive against Oregon and did the damn thing, walked it in himself after 94 yards of driving down the field against a top 10 team. He played his best game in his last college football game against Vanderbilt from the jump with that long run, some of the throws that he made. Highly recommend the cinematic recap that the Iowa department puts out of that Vandy game. He comes off of that trick play to Vanami for a touchdown and goes, that was a seed, baby. That was a seed. Like, he was feeling himself. The dad swag that he exuded was great. And more than anything, you could see that the team they felt confidence in him. He got guys to rally around him. It felt like, probably not only for the team, but a lot of the fan base, when we needed yards, when we needed first downs, you did not feel helpless with him back there. You thought that you had a chance at all times. And he ended the year tied for 6th in the country amongst all players in rushing touchdowns. That's a quarterback. Ended the year tied for 6th in rushing touchdowns. And the team just rallied around him. That it felt like he had been there longer than 10 months. And that's...
Yeah, so I'll answer it in my own short sense, is that, did we get the passing production that we were hoping for out of him? No. But the offense took a huge step, and he was a huge part of doing that. And I think he was worth every penny to get the Iowa offense back on track and out of this just abyss that it had been in for the last several years. That
and it was an abyss.
Yeah. That gaining, he helped gain respect for the Iowa offense again and put it back on track. And so I think he was worth every penny that we went out and got him for this year.
Agreed. Before we wrap this up with a little college football conversation, if you want solar energy, now's your time. Especially if you're in the agriculture industry or you run a commercial operation, now is the time to start the solar conversation with Eagle Point Solar. For larger ag and commercial products, timing is everything. If your project commences before July 4th, if they can get you contracted before July 4th, it qualifies for the 30% off federal tax credit, not 30% off, 30% federal tax credit, and that is a massive incentive. Those projects don't happen overnight. Engineering, permitting, utility approvals all take time, which is why Eagle Point wants folks to get in the pipeline early, get that stuff figured out. Meanwhile, electricity rates keep climbing thanks to data center growth and grid upgrades, and those costs get passed straight to you. Solar helps lock in predictable energy costs long term. If you've ever even thought about solar energy for your farm or business, now is the time to start that process with Eagle Point Solar. And if you want your goddamn grass mowed better than anybody on earth, check out that little, especially if you're watching. If you're watching, give it a little thumbs up for that logo, that Clover Lawn and Landscape logo down there. My goodness. Seriously, we're looking to fill the client list up. We have currently one operator, so that is we can't go mow 100 yards in a week. We have one guy doing it. It's my brother. He does a damn good job. And what? Oh, you're talking about defense. Kevin's over talking about. I'm trying to get your yard right. Kevin's over there talking about.
We got nobody setting the edge, man.
Soft edge. Can't do anything with a soft edge. Speaking of edging, we do mowing, trimming, edging. We'll trim your bushes.
How much do you charge for edging?
Oh, we'll edge you. We'll edge you real good. If you want to know what we charge, hit us up. Seriously though, this is legitimate. There's a what do they call it? I'm not even sure what the word I'm looking for. We have this pipe dream. We have a pipe dream of this someday becoming like a real big family business that we started operating, and we take it to some serious heights. And the only way we do that is by building long-term relationships with some early customers that just want to take a chance. And the best, we'll give you a percentage off. You just be one of our clients. There's tons of people out there. We'll give you an hour back every week.
When does the mowing season start?
April. Maybe, depending on how it goes, maybe late March. But we will be full by that time. We really only have room for about 10 to 15 extra clients that we can put onto what we started with last year. We're going to do a lot of advertising, and that list is going to fill up. You're really not going to find a better, more personal operation than we are. So hit me up or hit up our Clover Lawn accounts on Instagram, Facebook, or
let me know when Washed Up Walk-Ons gets the advertising check from Clover Lawn Care.
I'll let you know. I'll have their people talk to our people, and it'll be a quick conversation. There's one more college football game, Kevin.
Sure is.
How does that even work? The Indiana Hoosiers are going to take on the Miami of Florida Hurricanes in a national championship, a 1 versus 10 matchup. I see the line on FanDuel has gone down to 7.5. It was at 8.5 for a while.
It opened at 7.5, went up to 8.5, now it's back down to 7.5.
I personally, I'll just tell you right now, I have a hammered bet on 8.5. I think Indiana wins this game by 2 touchdowns.
I ripped 7.5 Saturday morning as soon as I said anything under 10, I'm taking it.
Over under is 47.5. I tend to think under, maybe.
So I mean, I've looked since, but regarding Miami's secondary, they were a little banged up that last game.
Are they?
They were.
So Mendoza's just going to eat.
Surratt might eat.
Surratt's going to eat.
Good.
He had an unbelievable semi game. I mean, that shit was. They were putting on a clinic.
Yeah, they're and they just play good fundamental football too, which Miami, they got some dudes on there. But man, they really shot themselves in the foot a lot in that game. Like they were lucky to get out. They were the better team on the field that day, but you know, coaching edge way in favor of Cignetti versus Cristobal. And I just, you know, Indiana, I think just plays a better brand of football, and they also got dudes, and they just play really sound fundamental ball. I don't really see how they lose this game.
I know it's the famous last words. It's
I
like,
hate saying it, but
how does Indiana lose, man? You know what I'm really interested to see is the staying power of the level at which Indiana has played. Did they just get, like, was this some serendipitous, like they just got all the right guys?
Possible, yeah. I mean,
like how sustainable is it? Is Indiana just now, hey, consider them a power with Cignetti there and the momentum that they built, the portal class? They got everybody. Everybody that Indiana wanted, they're the cool new shiny place to be.
Well, you got a billionaire bankrolling you, so that's nice.
It doesn't hurt when Mark Cuban's like,
I like it when the Hoosiers win. Yeah, I think actually Fernando Mendoza is a huge piece, not only on the field but off the field, is why this team's had success.
Yeah.
He's probably such a huge culture piece to that program.
Yeah.
That
which begs the question.
Everyone's just all in on being phenomenal football players.
Yeah.
They're just gonna not be fucking around outside of that. And it's like, yeah.
Can't let my guy Fernando down, right? They brought in
All
Josh.
Who does is go to class and watch tape.
Seriously. So the guy that they went after and got is Josh Hoover from TCU to fill that spot when Fernando inevitably gets drafted number 1 here in about 2 months. It'll be interesting to see if he can fill those shoes, not just on the field, but with the culture piece, the locker room piece of it as well. And who knows? Right now, it feels like, oh my God, if you're in the Big Ten, you got to go up against Ohio State and Michigan. I mean, Michigan, they've almost traded places. Michigan has a ton of uncertainty around them. They've stabilized a little bit with Whittingham, but it's like, now is Indiana one of them too? You got to go through Indiana and Oregon and Ohio State.
The Big Ten's especially post NAL and post rev share. Like, it's going to be a gauntlet every single year.
Spreading out a little bit. There's a lot of good teams.
Mm-hmm.
What's Penn State going to be with Matt Campbell? I mean, they're literally the Penn State Cyclones.
They've got money to spend on dudes.
They came out and said that they're going to spend $30 million a year on guys.
Did they really?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
That was the rumors that when they told Campbell they'd give him $30 million a year in NIL, or in between rev share and their NIL. That's what they give him.
You can
So
go
basically-
get some dudes with that.
Yeah, you can get some dudes. Dude, that's an average of, I can't do math. Like, that's an average of like $400,000 a player. 30 million divided by 105. I'm dumb. That's an average of $285,000 a player. Average.
Yeah, so you got to think like, oh, freshmen who aren't playing get $100,000 or whatever.
50, 100,000.
Then you work your way up, and
Your starters are all getting 500.
yeah.
God, that's insane. I'm never going to get over it. Kev, we're going to be 50 years old, and and if some version of me on a microphone talking about college football still exists, I'm still going to be saying it is unbelievable that these kids are getting, and at that point, it's going to be every
When
kid on
Cooler
the road.
Lawn Care takes over the state and you're the number one mower in the state, then you won't care.
You're goddamn right. You're goddamn right. Be mowing all the houses of these.
Then we're going to be forking you up for some NIL money.
Hey, here's my pitch. If you guys help us get off the goddamn ground, give us a client list, let us roll with this mowing business, and we turn into a lawn and landscape juggernaut, I promise you the grass money will go straight back to U of I. It's going right back into players for Hawkeye players. That's my pitch. BYU has cookie money. Iowa's going to have landscaping money, and we're going to go to war. Kluver Lawn and Landscape, hit me up today. It's not that hard to just let us mow your lawn. Final score prediction, Indiana, Miami. And Super Bowl predictor winner. I think
I'd like to be the Patriots right now, but the Seahawks also look pretty dang good.
they do look good. Yeah, the Patriots get to play.
How about the resurrection for Sam Darnold's career, huh?
Unreal.
Maybe it's just like, going to shitty franchises really, like, how many good players were just ruined by shitty franchises? Like the Jets, and then I thought, like, oh, he's going to go to Carolina. He'll have more success there. I mean, they were a dog shit program back then, too. It's like, how many guys just got sucked into bad franchises, no opportunity to put a good tape on for 3-4 years, and then they just get washed out.
I think a lot about that with Baker Mayfield.
Sure, yeah, the Browns.
Look what he went and did with Tampa Bay.
Mm-hmm.
He was having an insane year this year. Some unbelievable performances the last couple of years. Dude,
it's probably going to be a Seahawks versus Patriots Super Bowl.
Give me. Wow, I hate. There's no Hawks on the Patriots, is there? Is there any on the Seahawks? Is Richmond on the Seahawks roster?
No, I don't think so. Is he?
He might be on the practice squad. We gotta have a Hawkeye Super Bowl champion, right?
Well, we got Alaric Jackson here on the Rams.
That's true.
They're looking good. It's 4th and 4, 30 seconds left. Bears get down to their last shot. Let's see what happens. Williams drops back. He's under pressure. He's retreating. Oh, he's back at the 40-yard line now. He heaves one up. Oh my God! Touchdown Bears!
Are you serious?
What just happened?
You're dead ass.
I'm dead ass serious. They were on like the 20-yard line. Caleb Williams, he's scrambling. He runs 20 yards backwards.
Tied the game with 20 seconds left.
The end zone for a wide open touchdown.
That's insane. This is live on the podcast as we record
seconds
this.
left.
To answer your question, or my own question, I don't see Unless I'm
Wow.
blind, I don't see
All
Richmond.
right, let's make the
Mason
extra
Richmond
point
is
here.
on their roster. Okay.
Let's make the extra point here.
Seahawks have a Hawkeye. Mason Richmond's on the Seahawks. And I'll
Snap
probably
is
get
good.
contact
Hold is good. Kick is up, and it is good. We have
Wow.
18 seconds.
Unreal.
Otherwise, we're going to overtime. Rams still 2 timeouts. They could.
Matt
the new
Stafford,
kickoff
dangerous.
rules, you only have to get like 30 yards to get in the field goal range.
True. All right, we're going to wrap it up there. You tell us.
Indiana wins by 2 touchdowns.
Love that. You guys tell us to help us with an episode that we'll probably do in a few weeks from now. What are the biggest questions for the Hawks going into the 2026 offseason and season, sort of all encompassing? What should we be asking? What are the biggest ones? Help us out. Join us on the Patreon. See that QR code up on the top if you want to hit that. Otherwise, just hit us up on social media. Tell us. Thanks for listening. We'll see you next time.